Well, hi guys. So Saturday, it's Saturday. Yay! I've been out in the garden first. Look at this. I need to process these, all my tomatoes. This year I've got some I can make some sauces and stuff with. I'm excited. Here's some peas. I've got the last of my peas. I think that's it. That I've got to split open and put them in the freezer. And here's a couple different things of beans. And so yeah, I'm having fun in the garden. So it keeps going over here. Woo! Having a good time with it. But before I do that, I wanted to have something for dessert tonight. So I am making something that you guys have probably never heard of. Super cool. It's called an impossible custard pie. This is a random pie I'm doing today. It has nothing to do with the season, nothing to do with the garden, and nothing to do with anything except my beautiful, sweet little neighbors, Delia, Hale. Her parents are Matt and Morgan Hale. Has chickens up the road, and she has the best eggs ever. She sells them for $3 a dozen just up the road for me, and that's her little mad money. That's Delia's money. All the money goes to her. So I just went to get a couple dozen eggs because all the pies and stuff I've been making, I ran out of eggs, and I was like, hey, well, I got some eggs. I'm going to make an impossible custard pie. I have not made it for many years, actually. It's something I used to make a lot of, and I made one for somebody, and they took the pan I make it in and never gave it back to me. So yeah, the thing about this custard pie is that it goes only into an 8-inch pan. You don't need to make any crusts ahead of time. We're putting this whole thing together and it makes its own crust as it bakes. So, warning, if you don't like coconut, there is coconut in it. But also, don't poo-poo it until you've tried it because it makes a crust with the coconut. So you're not saying, oh, like eating a Mounds bar coconut. It's nothing like that. So give it a try. It's very good for you with the eggs and stuff in it. So I'm going to put the camera down here. Hopefully it doesn't fall off like it did the other day over and over again. And I am going to start the impossible custard pie. So simple. This takes like a minute and a half to 2 minutes to put together and put right in the oven. The oven is preheated on 350. Remember, we were told to open our eggs on the side, not on an edge. So there's one egg, and here's another egg. There you go. And look to make sure we have no, nope, I don't have any in there. I thought for sure I did. Okay, so it said to, whoops, I just knocked that over. It said to beat these just a little bit. Of course, I could probably do this one with my eyes closed, but I haven't done it for years. Beat your eggs up just a little bit. You know, just like that. Then you're going to add 3/4 of a cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of flour, 1 cup of milk, 1/2 teaspoon. Now this is a cool thing. I want to show this to you. It's really cool. Hold on. This is something I got from Pampered Chef years ago. Know how like when we made the zucchini bread, how we got to a 3/4 of a cup of this and a 3/4, like I think it's 3/4 of baking powder. Anyways, whatever it was 3/4 of, we used a 1/2 and a 1/4 because that's basic math. That's 3/4, 1/2 and a 1/4. This one was cool and I forgot all about it, so I pulled it out the other day. I was like, oh, I wanted to show them this. This has odd, see your different things here, and it has your 3/4 in there. It has an 1/8 and a 1/4, which a lot of people can never find their 1/8 and 1/4s. You know, because they're so small, unless you keep them in the drawer and in good shape, you forget them. There's a 1/2 teaspoon in here, 3/4 of a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon, and then it has it in the milliliters in here. So that's kind of cool. It's cool, like if you're, you know, like, I guess you could use it for medicine when you're trying to take certain milliliters of it. So that's fantastic. It goes from 0.5 all the way up to 5 milliliters, which is really cool. So this was kind of one of the things I bought from Pampered Chef many years ago that was really worth it. So I'm going to put it down on the 3/4 setting because it's 3/4 of a cup. I mean, no, excuse me. No, half teaspoon. There you go. Not cup. Half teaspoon right there. So I put it on the half teaspoon, and you can see how the opening is here. So it's a half teaspoon of vanilla, but I really like that this has the 3/4 on it and some odd. There. In that goes. Wasn't intentionally trying to plug Pampered Chef in particular. I just really love that product. And so now down we go. We put our vanilla in there. And we've got 3/4 of a cup of flaked coconut, which I had sitting there already, all set. And last but not least, 1/4 cup of butter or margarine. I use butter, of course, melted. and in you go. And that are all the ingredients in it. I suppose one could seem to have fun with this now that you've got this down. I have never made variations of it, but now that I'm doing it, because I'm much more adventurous now as a cook than I was when I was much younger, and especially when I used to cook this much younger. So I think, wouldn't it be fun if you wanted to, if you're a person knowing that it's eggs, you might want to put raisins in it. I've never put anything in it, nothing. I do it straight up as a custard pie, but it's called the Impossible Custard Pie because it makes its own crust. But it would be nice to put almond slivers in there. How about pecans? I've never done anything like that, but you know what? I dare you. Once you've got it done as a straight up custard pie, why don't you start experimenting with it and drop me a few notes saying what you thought of what you put in, you know, whether it's a fresh fruit, whether it's I don't think I would do any fruit though that has a lot of water in it, because I wouldn't want it to compromise the pie itself. But certainly nuts or raisins or anything like little mini chocolate chips, stuff like that would not compromise the wetness of it, so you wouldn't have to worry about the cooking time on it. So continue. Here we go. So I'm putting the camera back so it doesn't fall. There we go. So basically now all you do is you're just going to combine it. This is the simplest pie. It takes less than 5 minutes to put it together, and the only reason why it's taking longer now is because I'm gabbing with you. And there you are. That is how simple it is. Look how pretty rich color it is. Woo! And that's all there is to it. Get all the coconut back out of here. You are going to take this. You're going to pour it into a greased, and I like to grease it with butter because that's the flavor I've already got. You could grease it with Crisco. You could spray it with one of the spray things if you wanted. I like to put butter in this. So I greased mine with butter. And all you're going to do, literally, is just pour it in. Clean out your pan to get everything. Clean out your bowl to get everything. And there you go. And it looks like nothing right now, but when you take this out of the oven after 30 to 35 minutes, and you'll know it's going to be a nice brown, it'll be a nice light brown color. It's going to be firm. It'll be nice and firm when it's cooked all the way. There'll be a little bit of brown to it. It'll be firm, and let it cool completely. And when you cut it, it stays intact. There's no runniness to it or anything because it's a custard pie. So it's supposed to be a solid. And I think you'll like it. It's a change. This is something I've had as a hidden recipe for many years. It's an acquired taste for people, but everybody usually goes, oh, coconut. Oh, I'm not a coconut person. Well, I am. I love Mounds bars, so it's not a stretch for me. But I asked Tim, I said, I know you don't love coconut. Would you try this? And when I explained to him how it really basically just the coconut makes the crust, and it doesn't taste like, oh, you've bit into a Mounds bar or something, he was totally willing to try it. So be open. Do the same thing. Just 2 eggs and a little bit of whatever's on your shelf. You definitely know you always have sugar, flour, vanilla, butter. Coconut was the only one thing. So make it up. I like it as a brunch item. Like if I'm having brunch and I'm doing something different, not just trying to get a nutritious breakfast into me, like a brunch thing on a Sunday or something fun. This is a really fun thing to have, with a nice cup of coffee or tea or something. So guys, try it. Yeah, you didn't see this recipe coming, I bet you. Nobody knows about this one. This one's one of mine that was hidden in the vaults for all of my 60 years. So try it. Tell me what you think about it. Bye.